morning, good afternoon if you're in my global audience, and if you're in my location, good evening. I'm the artist presently known as Zan Truluck. This is Masterpiece Studio, and this is my masterpiece painting, Be Mindful. So Be Mindful is a piece I did nearly 5 years ago. I worked on it actually across 2 different countries. I was living between Philadelphia and Ottawa, Canada at the time, and I started it at my desk in Philadelphia. So this is a representation of my brother Stuart Cornelius, and I'm sitting at my desk and I'm dealing with, again, the concepts of Black lives just being stripped from us at the hands of vigilantes, at the hands of the police, and just thinking about this constant context and this constant lens through which I must look as a Black man and how I must contextualize and view the world, and just thinking about how I need to be mindful. So again, viscerally affected to the point where I'm at my desk but can't really work because this is on my mind. It took me until this year to really be able to verbalize and vocalize that when George Floyd died. When I was sitting at my desk, albeit my desk in this home studio / office, but I was sitting at my desk and I just could not work anymore for the day, and decided to let my team know via email that, hey, I don't have the energy to do it. Looking at another Black man lying dead in the streets is as if my own body is lying dead in the streets, and today I just cannot. And that was the first time in an 11-year career where I really vocalized how it felt to be so deeply affected by something going on in my community, and not to the point where it affected my performance on a day-to-day basis. So this is in reverse 5 years earlier, 5 years prior to that moment, dealing with the exoneration of Eric Garner's killers, the police officers who killed Eric Garner, to be clear, looking at Mike Brown's death, still thinking about back to the vigilante justice concept, thinking about Trayvon Martin's death, and all of these things were constantly in mind. So Be Mindful, I sketched out on a piece of paper and text messaged my brother Stu. And I asked Stu, I said, hey man, you at work right now? And his response, yes, of course. I said, you got a collared shirt on? He's like, yeah, I got a collared shirt on. Do me a favor real quick, man. Have somebody at work take a picture of you with your head turned to the side. I got a concept. Stu knows when I am in create mode that I go through these iterations. We laugh, we call it revolutions as an allusion to Wolf of Wall Street and the Matthew McConaughey scene, but my mind is just revolving. It's going nuts, and that brother has always supported every creative aspect that I get into. He will tell you, look, man, if I put my money on anybody, I'll put it on you. Like, you got an idea, let's flesh it out. And this was him stepping up to the plate and just saying, I don't know what it is, I don't get it, but I'll send it to you. I'll have to find the drawing that I did originally to show him this is what I'm thinking. And I know he had to look at it and say, whoa, that's a lot, because it is a lot to sign up to be represented in my work, to sign up to be a representation of such tough concepts, such hard feelings, centuries old feelings, generational trauma and poverty, all of that represented in your own life on a day-to-day, but then being visually represented in my artwork. So to Stuart and anyone else who has ever posed for artwork, I thank you. I thank you for being a part of this collective, for being a part of bringing my dreams forward, the things in my mind and the conversations that I want to have with other people. Thank you for making that a reality for me. To get back to the piece itself, dealing with all these concepts, Stu sends me the photo. He's in front of like a blue screen computer, so clearly someone took this picture for him at work. And the concept was all about putting those deaths in mind, contextualizing again the lens through which a Black man must look at the world, and knowing that Stu and I both wear glasses, so Stu, you have on glasses that day, it'll facilitate what I'm trying to get here in the vision. So the lens through which we look is a police tape line here. Police line, do not cross. Police line, do not cross. The things in mind when I'm saying be mindful are actually quite detailed versions of the death scenes within the folds of the brain. So here you have, pardon me, Mike Brown laying on the ground. Here you have Eric Garner being choked by that police officer. You have Trayvon Martin with his hoodie laying on the ground. You also have an additional Eric Garner scene hidden down here in the medulla oblongata or cerebral cortex, whatever that is. I'm not a physician. However, what I will highlight about this actually as a segue is that I intended for this to look like a medical illustration.